Hi friends, welcome back. This is my video for the full moon in Aquarius coming in on August 19th, 2024, which is a Monday on Pacific Standard Time. However, you'll want to adjust for your current location on the planet as that time and date will change. If you're new here, my name is Alex. I'm an evolutionary astrologer. I am available to work with you one-on-one with your birth chart. You can find me at coyotestarastrology.com. And we also have a astrology community over there. I have a monthly membership where you get access to all my free courses and weekly astrology videos that are kind of like these videos that I do here on YouTube, but they're more comprehensive, more detailed breakdown. We've got a community message board and all sorts of fun stuff over there. So if you're interested in joining us on the astrology community, check it out at coyotestarastrology.com. All right, let's see what we have going on here with this full moon in Aquarius. This is definitely going to be a week where we just want to do some real deep breathing, I think. This is definitely one of the more crunchy moments of the year. If you took my Astrology 2024 webinar, you know that we talked about how middle of August is just a bit of a circus. And we are here. This full moon definitely hallmarks one of the more stressful moments of an already very busy month. And the reason I say that, well, I mean, first of all, full moons are energizing already, right? A full moon is the release of energy that has been building over a lunar cycle. And full moons in Aquarius already tend to come with kind of like an over-caffeinated feeling, right? Because they're ruled by Uranus, and Uranus is known as the awakener for a reason. Uranus is kind of like drinking a strong little cup of espresso, right? It literally has this sort of like wide-eyed electric feeling to it. It literally rules electricity. But in addition to all that, this full moon also has a bunch of stress aspects that make the energy of it not really very smooth. I'm just going to be honest. It also hallmarks a very important moment in our Mercury retrograde journey. And this Mercury retrograde journey has not been the easiest. I think that everyone is feeling a little overwhelmed out there, or at least that's the feeling that I've gotten. This Mercury retrograde has been particularly difficult for, I think, a number of reasons. Number one, Mercury actually stationed retrograde in Virgo, and Mercury rules Virgo. So Mercury stationing retrograde in Virgo made it extra strong, extra retrograde-y, and it had that kind of shadow Virgo feeling to it where it just was like a little bit irritable, I think, especially because it stationed retrograde square Mars. Now Mercury is back in Leo, so Mercury is going to be displaying its more dramatic side during this full moon. So let's just walk through the aspects of the full moon itself, which again are mostly stress aspects, I'm not going to lie. So here's the full moon itself, 27-degree Leo sun, 27-degree Aquarius moon. So because it's a moon in Aquarius, the ruler is Uranus. So we want to go right to Uranus and find out what is going on over there. And immediately we run into a little bit of an issue because Uranus is, oh, look at that, at 27 degrees. Very interesting that. So the full moon is ruled by Uranus and it is squared by Uranus. Exactly. So this brings in the unpredictable, nervous, jumpy, frustrating aspect to this full moon because the ruler is making a stress aspect to the moon itself. Not only is it making a stress aspect to the moon and the sun, but it's also making a stress aspect to Mercury, which is retrograde in Leo. So therein lies the potential for drama because Mercury retrograde can have us having, intense communications and can bring up intense subject matter, particularly this one, because Mercury also is making 3 squares to Uranus in its retrograde course. We've talked about that in previous videos. This full moon comes just after the weekend where Mercury made its second square retrograde. So the full moon is going to be simmering with that jolt, that Mercury retrograde square Uranus drama, where there might have been intense interactions or information that came in. There may have been something unpredictable that took place or a reaction from somebody that you weren't expecting. There's definitely a potential for like sharp words exchanged during this time. The whole zodiac sort of feels like a rubber band about to snap to me. It seems overly emotional, almost like people are going to be wearing their emotions on their sleeves, like their heart is tender, especially because of the trine to Chiron there. Yeah, it kind of feels like the big baby Leo energy exposed somewhat, with Uranus laying some tripwire and having sort of like knee-jerk reactions happening because emotions will be close to the surface. It feels like a highly sensitive time. Another thing that's been making things a little bit difficult and is contributing to the intensity is that Saturn has been squaring Jupiter and Mars throughout the previous week and still is doing so quite strongly during this full moon. Now, both of these are frustrating. I mean, any square from Saturn is annoying. Squares from Saturn make things unnecessarily difficult and definitely rain on our parade a little bit. Squares to Jupiter can feel like we're having our wings clipped. Squares to Mars can feel like we're having to slow down and can definitely flare tempers. So we have that happening in the background as well. All this to say, I think that we are going to definitely feel like the voltage over the weekend gets turned up. Our nervous systems can be a little bit rattled. We want to have grace with ourselves and grace with other people. If they are extra emotional, maybe just like give them a little bit of space and grace as they process that, because this is why. The other thing we have happening during the full moon, to mention another stress aspect, is that Saturn will be in opposition to Venus. That definitely brings up difficulty in relationships and can also put people in that kind of Venus and Virgo nitpicky kind of place where we might be focusing more on the negative rather than the positive. So maybe be mindful of that as well. All things considered, it's definitely not a boring full moon. That is certain to keep you on your toes. So everyone, be safe out there, and thank you so much for tuning in. If you've enjoyed this video, please do give it a like and a share. I really appreciate it. It helps me out. And again, if you're interested in booking a reading or checking out our online community, you can find me at coyotestarastrology.com. All right, guys, bye for now.